have to say I'm really honored to be the first magician to be invited back for the third time. The first time I did a trick called Unshuffled.
It kind of blew our minds.
Not only did the trick fool Penn and Teller,
You fooled us. Can you see that?
but based on video views and so on, it fooled a lot of the magicians too. The second time, the cups and balls.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to fool them. The only problem was they knew that trick a little too well.
It's now a tie. You get us last time, we get you this time. Season 5, kick our ass.
The thing I like most about coming on Fool Us is it pushes me to take my magic to the next level. So essentially, they've given me a gift each time. I have new routines thanks to being on the show, and this time I have a gift for them.
Back again on the Fool Us stage here with 5 randomly selected audience members is Paul Gertner.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Penn, last year you said, Paul, season 5, kick our butts. I'm going to give it my best shot.
Okay. I wish I hadn't said that.
Now, I asked the producers to choose 5 totally random people from the audience to join me, and I want to thank you for coming up and helping me out. I'm not going to ask your names because your names are going to determine the outcome of this trick. But first, a little story. In the early 70s, there was a study done in Las Vegas about winners and losers. They studied people that won big jackpots and people that went home totally broke. And there was a fascinating statistic in this study that said, for some strange reason, all of the winners in the study had an even number of letters in their name. And all of the losers in the study had an odd number of letters in their name. It became known in the gambling industry as the lucky study. Now the question is, could your names determine your luck? Let's find out right now. I have a pack of cards right here, 54. I have the jokers in the deck, but we won't use the jokers. And I'd like everyone to do me a favor, come forward and hold your hand out like that, and you're gonna put your finger on the back of one card. So all 5, come back forward, just hold your hand out like that, put your finger on one card, okay? Perfect. Now slide those cards out, okay? Slide them out, take them back to your seat. Now, I'm going to have all of you look at your card, just like this, okay? Got it? Okay, and now I'm going to turn my back, and when I turn my back, I'm going to have you flip the card out to the audience, just like that, okay? Now, go ahead, you can turn it out to the audience, all right? And look at it. Now, everyone in the audience, remember one person and their card, okay? Now, flip the card back around towards yourself, and we will now be ready to go. Now, we're going to place those 5 cards back in the deck one at a time, all right? First card right over here. Now, normally a magician has to find 1 card, but, well, I have to fool Penn and Teller, so I'm going to do 5. Now, would you place yours here? And let's get back to the story. Now, has anyone ever heard of the name Thomas Preston? Probably not. Thomas Preston was a gambler in the early 70s, but he never really won much of anything. He read about the lucky study, and he decided to change his name, because when he added up the number of letters in his name, he discovered he had 13 letters in his name, a very unlucky number for a gambler. So Thomas Preston changed his name to Amarillo Slim. Oh, this is true. You can Google it. And once he changed his name to Amarillo Slim, he actually became very lucky, because Amarillo Slim had 12 letters in the name. And he went on to win 4 world championships of poker. The last one with a royal straight flush in spades. Not something you see normally in Las Vegas. Now, the question is, did changing his name change his luck? We're gonna see right now with these 5 new friends I have here at the table. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to add up the number of letters in your first and last name together, okay? Now, you can use your fingers to do this, to be sure, yeah, by all means. Now, I'm going to take and start over here. I'd like to know how many letters in your first and last name together.
There's 15.
15, oh, 15, wow. We might be down to first names only here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You said 15? 15. How many are yours?
8.
8, and that's not your card by any chance, is it? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How many on yours?
14.
14, first names only. Go with, figure out how many letters in your first name. 14, that's not your card?
No.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you said?
14.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many in your first name?
17.
How many? First name?
Name, twin.
12?
Twin.
First name?
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname?
So 5.
5? Okay. And is that your card?
No.
No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And how many in yours?
22.
First name?
5.
5, and that's not your card?
Nope.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if this worked. Now, there's no way I could have controlled anything, but I had 5 random cards selected, shown to the audience, and I dealt the number of letters in your name. I had to use your nickname, but we got there. For the very first time, let's see if you're as lucky as Amarillo Slim. What was the name of your card? Do you remember?
Yes. It's the 4 clubs.
4 of clubs? Oh. And your card?
7 of spades.
7 of spades. And your card?
8 of spades.
8 of spades. And your card?
Red king.
A red king of diamonds. And your card?
5 of hearts.
5 of hearts. Just like that, and I thank you. Thank you. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, it's possible Penn and Teller already know how that trick was done. However, I promised Penn to surprise you. And remember I told you Amarillo Slim won his final World Championship poker hand with something you don't see too often in Las Vegas. And if we look at the bottom card of each one of these packets, if we're lucky, we just might find Amarillo Slim's Royal Straight Flush in spades. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for helping me.
Paul Gertner! Hello!
Thank you. Good to see you.
Great to see you again.
Same here. Same
Oh,
here.
wow, what have you been doing since the last time we saw you?
Well, it's been a lot. I've been very busy, and actually, as a result of being on Penn and Teller Flawless, I have my own show now in Boston every Friday night. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you think that you have even more writing on this fool than in previous?
Maybe, because I spent about 2.5 years on this trick.
You practice a lot, I
I do
remember.
practice a lot, and this one
Yes.
required that.
So is there such a thing as practicing too much?
I think there is, yeah, because in terms of hands.
Oh.
You practice too much, hands cramp up a little bit because you're doing certain weird techniques and maneuvers and so on like that.
How many times did you practice this morning?
Let's see, to be honest, I think I did the trick about 15 times this morning. No, 15, 20.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah.
All right, Penn, Teller. Hi. Hi, guys.
Boy, when we see Paul Gertner, we worry. And this is an important one. It's the tiebreaker.
That's true.
You fooled us once. You didn't fool us the second
No, I
time.
didn't.
Now it's the third time.
Yep.
And this is, Paul plays this game in a different plane than everybody else that comes out here. Because he did a trick that I am certain fooled just about everybody watching. And yet you sat there smug, knowing we were seeing you do every one of those 5 moves.
Okay.
But you were okay with that, because you're a rat bastard. That's why you're okay with that. And you were saying, well, you know, let him catch me at the other thing at the end. Okay? Now, when you turned your back on us, to the audience, that seems like, oh, he's being so fair and so honest, right? But you turn your back, we as magicians think he can do anything he wants with that deck. He's there by himself with his back to us with the cards in his hand. And then you said that you were going to add on a little trick at the end. And we think you did add on, and we think you added on something besides just a trick. You added on something to accomplish the trick. You know what we're talking about?
Did you do something tricky when your back was turned?
I didn't do anything tricky when my back was turned, but...
You didn't do it like that?
It's a fooler!
Again, tiebreaker. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you so much. Hey!
Paul Gertner!
That's That's better. I am Alexandra Duvivier, and I'm a French close-up magician. You have invented many things, Americans, but Houdini, your famous Houdini, his name is inspired from Robert Houdin in France. My dad was a magician. In 1991, my dad bought this magic shop, Maillet Magie Moderne. It is the oldest shop in the world, 1808. My dad never showed me magic when I was little. I had to beg and ask him again and again, please show me a trick, please show me a trick, because he didn't want me to be a magician. And when he saw that I had studied by myself, worked on my own, then he helped me. The trick I'm going to perform today is one of my dad's tricks. I'm very, very proud because my dad trusts my talent enough so I can perform it by myself. So, voilà, that's it.
Say bonjour to Alexandra Duvivier.
Wow, I am so thrilled to be here among all of you tonight. What an experience. I'm so glad to be here, and especially because I have here two of my heroes just right in front of me. You can't imagine what it sits inside. Wow. Can I ask for your help, gentlemen? Would you join me on stage?
Oh, with pleasure.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Penn. Je suis American.
Really?
Yeah,
Are
oui.
you? Oh, I didn't even know you. Okay.
That's telling.
I'm so glad to be here, and I am so thrilled. You know why? Because I had time on my hands, backstage, and this way, I have performed the trick for myself already. So this way, we can save 5 minutes and we can chat about something else. Because, let me tell you what I've done. I have taken my deck of cards. I've taken half of the card face up, half of the card face down, and I've shuffled those. And I hardly recognize myself because I shuffled like a crazy lady, shuffle face up, face down. It was a mess. A mess, I'm telling you. And you won't believe me. But after I've snapped my fingers, let me show you, like this, and watch. All the cards came back in the same direction, except for 5 cards. The 5 cards of my prediction. Watch. 7 of clubs, sure spade, 2 of diamonds, yeah, right, jack of clubs, and queen of hearts. Thank you so very much. Right? Hello? I'm so happy we have saved 5 minutes. So guys, the question, did I fool you?
Well, I'm not going to call you a liar, so I guess if all this happened, we don't know how you did it.
Okay,
We'd like to see it ourselves.
Okay, you want to lose 5 minutes, I see. Okay, you're the boss. Let's do that. Okay, I give you that for later. Let's put that all in the same direction. So, like I've told you earlier, I've taken my deck of cards. I took half of the card face up, half of the card face down. Really face up, really face down. And it takes a while because, I'm a professional and it's very precise, but I have shuffled cards, face up, face down. It's a terrible mess. And when you're a cardician, you don't mix shufflings. And I also mix shuffling. Oh, it's okay, but let's do it like this also. It's fun, isn't it? No, not fun, okay. Penn, can you help me out? Can you please shuffle? Be crazy, not too much because I know you are crazy, okay? Oh, no, not too much. That's great. Tell her, may you do the same? Oh, great. He's crazy also. I'm so crazy, voilà. Alors, you know what? Now, the French shopping bag. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, please, Penn, can you put both of your hands inside and check nothing inside? Of course, there is nothing inside, just for you to be sure. This card's a mess, okay? You know what? Let's put them aside. Shuffle cards, face up, face down. And I would like you, Penn, to shuffle some more. Put both of your hands inside and shuffle. Not too much.
Oops.
I told you not too much.
It's okay, I ruined the trick. I'm okay.
It's okay.
Okay, we're okay.
It's fun. Not too much fun. Okay, so now... Ooh, yeah, I know, you're laughing. I am not laughing. Let's try. Because I don't know if you knew that, but now cards are inside of the bag and I can't see anything, like if I am blind. But I am not. And... in France, we love shuffling everything. I mean, it's a passion, it's a tradition there. Bread? Do you know the 3 baguette Monty? Very famous in France, the 3 baguette Monty, right? We are so crazy, that's why you like us so much, don't you? Yeah, what an audience, you're great. Alors, I don't talk to you about fromage, because fromage is another story. But let's see something now. Like I told you earlier, I snapped my fingers. All the cards came back in the same direction, except for 5 cards. Watch out, watch out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me show you that more precisely. All the cards came back in the same direction completely, except for 5 cards. Penn, can you read out loud those 5 cards, please?
7 of clubs, 3 of spades, 2 of diamonds, Jack of clubs, Queen of hearts.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Alexandra Duvivier. That was very impressive.
Thank you. I'm glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So now, if your father's a magician, did you feel pressure that you had to go into the family business?
No, when he saw and understood that I was really hooked on magic, that's when he helped me out.
Oh, well, he must be so proud of you.
He tells me so, and I'm very lucky he tells me so.
Good.
Yeah, but it's a great trick, you know.
So is he your magic hero?
He's one of my magic heroes, but I have so many magic heroes, you know? You can't imagine inside what it feels like to see those 2 guys.
Do you think they'll be able to figure it out?
I don't know, but, you know, my dad has invented that trick maybe 30 years ago. Ah. And he has performed that trick quite a few times to, professionals, great magicians, and they didn't figure it out, so I don't know for Penn and Teller. So...
Okay, so teach me in French how to say, let's talk to Penn and Teller.
Parlons à Penn and Teller. Parlons à Penn and Teller. So sweet.
I gotta tell you, Alexandria, I get asked all the time, I have a son and a daughter, if my son's into magic, and the answer is, my daughter is into magic. And I'm so glad she's here tonight to see you, to see how great the daughter of a magician can be. Because your dad, Dominic, was great, and it's wonderful to see a daughter of a magician here. And it's wonderful to see women in magic. It's just fabulous.
Yeah, we have too few women in magic.
Very too few.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I'll tell you, the good news is that in the past 2 or 3 years, girls are coming up to us all the time after the show and showing us card tricks and stuff. So that will not be that way for long. Women are going to take over this like they've taken over everything else, happily. And your style is just fabulous. So much charm, so much class, just wonderful. And you know, we went a long time thinking about what you did, a long time. And we thought that if you maybe had the cards rounded in the corners that you might be able to, but then after Teller drew about 20 sketches and after we talked back and forth, we looked at each other and it dawned on us that we had one question to ask you, and one question only. After all this time you've been waiting, how do you say "you fooled us" in French? Answer that question. How do you say "you fooled us" in French? How do you say it?
I don't remember. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Siegfried interview, take 1.
My name is Siegfried Tiber, like magicians Siegfried and Roy, but Siegfried is my real name, I promise. My father was born and raised in Austria, that explains the name. My father met my mother in Colombia, that explains the hair. My parents, they moved to Ecuador, where I was born and raised, that explains the accent. I deeply believe that magic is an art form. I think that magic has tremendous power and potential to generate intimate, extraordinary experiences. Even if it's a simple playing card being lost in the deck and found, the idea is to create an experience that all of us can enjoy.
magically twisted Siegfried Tieber.
Penn, Teller, would you guys mind joining me over here? And Allison, would you also join me over here, please? The quintessential magic trick consists of finding a playing card after it has been hopelessly lost in the deck. We magicians are on a never-ending quest, constantly looking for the ideal, truly impossible card trick. In my mind, it would look something like this. Penn, Teller, I need each of you to select one playing card completely at random. Sounds good? Once you take one, it is essential that I don't see it. Okay. Please be extremely paranoid. Okay? You have two big screens over there. Don't even show them to the screens. Keep them to yourself. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Allison, while they look at their cards, I'll look at you, you look at me, you make sure I'm not picking, okay? Lovely. Penn, I'll go through the card like this. At any moment, please say stop.
Stop.
That one?
Yes.
Please take it, look at it, remember it. Teller, take the next one, please. Don't show them to anybody. Keep those in mind. Allison, I'm still on you, right? Penn, you remember your cards?
Yes, I do.
Put it back, please. Teller, would you? Thank you. I'm not speaking. Allison, I was looking at you the whole time, right?
Yes.
Nice. Sometimes people think that the cards have tiny little marks on the backs, which allow me to distinguish them from one another. Even if they did, which they don't. I was looking at you the whole time. Now the cards are lost in the deck, right? Yes? Under these conditions, could I possibly know anything about your cards?
No.
Yes. I know that they are approximately in the middle where you call stop. So before we go any further, please cut and complete the cut.
Okay. I've cut and completed the cut.
Thank you, Taylor. Just in case, cut and complete the cut. However, you might cut near the top, near the bottom, at any point you want. Ooh, sneaky. Ooh. Now, under these conditions, could I possibly know anything about those cards?
No.
Yes! I know that they are next to each other, right? Because you left your card in the deck, you put yours on top, you cut the deck altering the position of the cards, but they might still be next to each other. The only way to be absolutely sure that they are separated is to deal the cards one by one in two separate piles, like this. If we would cut the cards again, even if we would shuffle those cards, they might still end up together, but this way one card definitely ends up in one pile, the other card definitely ends up on the other pile, right? Right? Now, we don't even know whose card is where, but they are definitely separated. Under these conditions, could I possibly know anything about your cards?
No.
No, exactly. No. Now they are really.
I got one right.
Finally, yes, you got it. Now they are lost. Penn, Teller, lean in. Don't tell me which card you selected. Simply tell me whose card is there. Allison, I'll look at you so they don't think I'm following their gazes. Penn, Teller, whose card is there?
It's mine, sir.
Yours is
Yes,
there.
it is.
Okay, that means, Teller, your card must be one of those. I won't even touch them. Penn, think of your card.
I am.
You are? Don't say it out loud. Don't move your lips. Simply think of it.
I'm thinking of it.
And look deeply into my eyes. I love saying that. Ooh. Penn, there are red cards and black cards in a deck of cards. I think that you are thinking of a red card. Is that correct?
Right and double right.
50-50 chance, but it's going well. If it's red, it could be their hearts or diamonds. I think that you're thinking of diamonds.
Yes!
Yes! Again, 50-50, but two in a row. Penn, out loud. Which card are you thinking of?
8 of diamonds.
Yes! 8 of diamonds. One down, one to go. Teller, I left those cards there a few moments ago. I haven't even touched them, right? Please, think of your card. Don't say it out loud. I think that you're thinking of a red card, is that correct? I think that you're thinking of hearts, is that correct? I think I already got it. I think I already know. I will simply take the card out for dramatic effect. Keep in mind that you selected a card completely at random. I was looking at you the whole time. You put it back in the deck before I even touched them. I promised you an impossible card trick. But if this works, I'll be very impressed myself. Teller, I made a decision. I cannot change my mind now. I think that you are thinking of the 8 of hearts. Yes! 8 of hearts!
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
So is this a character or is this the real you?
No, this is me.
Yeah? Okay. And do you interact with the audiences a lot? Like, you know, would you just normally take 3 members of the audience?
Oh, yes. I would take as many people as I can. I wanted to invite all of them up here, but they didn't let me.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we have enough microphones for that. That would be hard.
What I love most in the world is this, what we magicians refer to as close-up magic. And the closer that people can be, the better, yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of close, let's see how close we can get to these guys. Penn, Teller?
Well, you know, people forget what's really important, generally in life, and specifically for this show in magic. Presentation is everything. It's just absolutely everything. That trick, you could not have gotten more out of it. It was just wonderful. Every moment of that was just funny, entertaining, amazing. Absolutely love you and your whole style. But what's important in magic is presentation. What's important in the world today is a lot of things. Of course, world peace and health and stuff like that. One of the things we're obsessed with now is alternative energy. We can't just keep burning carbon, you know? So we're looking into nuclear power, we're looking into wind power and solar power, and then there's good old hydropower, you know, the waterfall force, the force of the waterfall coming down like that, and I think you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Siegfried?
All right, I know he's using code words. Or he's getting excited for Earth Day. But do you understand what he's?
I think you are trying to say that I'm using some kind of waterfall force-like to influence you to make certain decisions?
I think there was something like that, yeah.
If what I think you implied is correct, that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
I think you guys guessed the wrong thing.
It really wasn't a waterfall force.
You could have called stop at the very beginning, or at the very end, or at any point at all.
Okay, I have another guess. I'm gonna take another bite of this apple. Is it possible then that you fooled us?
Yes.
Is that possible? Is that the answer? Beautifully done.
Pleasure, it's an honor, mine. I'm not allowed to swear, but mine, thank you for... Thank you very much. Thank you.